Okay. Thank you so much for your patience and for joining us today. Welcome, everyone. We are thrilled to have you here for our webinar on WorkCanvas, a cutting-edge digital workspace that enhances your team's brainstorming, planning, and innovation capabilities. My name is Victoria, and I am an implementation manager here at Workflow Magic. I will be your host today. As a Monday.com Silver Channel partner, we specialize in helping businesses optimize their processes on Monday.com through implementation, strategy, training, custom development, and customer success management. This is our amazing team. We have Lydia, who is our founder and CEO. And then we have Donlin, who is a senior implementation manager. And as you can see here, we have Aaron, Natasha, and Zane, who are all implementation managers here at Workflow Magic. Now, let's take a quick view of what we'll do today. Not sharing my screen, I'm sorry. Can everyone see my screen? Thank you. Okay, so let's take a quick look at our agenda for today. We'll begin with an overview of WorkCanvas, where we'll introduce you to the product and its core functionalities. Next, we'll dive into the top features that make WorkCanvas a powerful tool for collaboration and productivity. We'll then present a case study showcasing how SparkSolutions has effectively utilized WorkCanvas for process mapping, highlighting the real-world benefits and success they've experienced. Following that, we'll hear directly from SparkSolutions about their experience, providing insight into the practical applications and value they found with WorkCanvas. Finally, we'll wrap up with a Q&A session and go through a few frequently asked questions and also a few of the questions that you asked when you signed up for this webinar. Now, I'll hand it over to Aaron, who will introduce the product and its most important features.
Thanks, Victoria. Hi, everyone. Let me tell you a little bit about WorkCanvas, the ultimate online whiteboard for professionals. This tool is all about bringing your team together to ideate, create, and innovate on a digital platform designed for seamless collaboration. Released earlier this year, WorkCanvas features an infinite canvas so that you can work without limits. Every canvas is like your own small world, unlimited in size and structure. It's also incredibly intuitive and easy to navigate. So we'll get that to load in a second, and we can see exactly what we're talking about there. Great. So like I said, features infinite canvas. You can work without limits. It's incredibly intuitive, easy to navigate, and you'll love how quickly you can start collaborating with your colleagues. Thanks to the super fast multiplayer engine that enables instant collaboration no matter where you are in the world. What's great is even if you're offline, WorkCanvas has you covered. You can keep working, and when you're back online, everything will sync automatically without any conflicts. So you might be thinking, what sets WorkCanvas apart? Well, there's a two-way sync, which is really cool. This means that you can integrate your Monday.com boards seamlessly with WorkCanvas. This means a synchronized workflow management experience, eliminating redundancies, and streamlining processes. So you can see here, as we make edits on Monday, those changes will also reflect in WorkCanvas. You can also easily import timelines from Monday.com and other project management elements into WorkCanvas, enabling visual representation and collaborative editing. Now let's dive in further to see how WorkCanvas can transform your team's collaboration and productivity by showcasing some of its features. We have multiple templates, shapes, and pens to make your ideas come to life. And we'll see this a little bit more when we go into the case study in a little bit. There's also real-time collaboration. So this means we can stay connected via video chat, voting, and timers to keep your team productive and engaged. You can also kickstart your projects with customizable templates for any scenario. So for instance, if you are in HR, there's a template for an org chart like you see here. There's also a template for performance reviews. If you're in project management, there's a template for a flow chart, which you can continue to iterate on, as well as a template for brainstorming for you and your team. Lastly, let's go ahead and talk about the migration from Miro to WorkCanvas. So if you are currently using Miro, you'll be able to quickly and easily migrate to WorkCanvas. All you would do is from your Miro, you would copy your Miro work and then paste it directly into WorkCanvas. So we're going to copy it here. And as we go into WorkCanvas, we'll paste and then you'll be all set. It's really all that simple to transition and start benefiting from WorkCanvas's powerful features. So now that we've covered some of the features, let's move on to our case study, and I'll hand it over to Donalyn.
Thanks, Aaron. Hi, everyone. So a little bit about SparkSolutions, our partner. They are a leading digital marketing agency specializing in Google Ads, SEO, and white label Google Ads. They came to us as a new Monday.com user wanting to set up a comprehensive CRM. And that means managing their leads, managing their client onboarding, and effectively all of their ongoing tasks to deliver services to their clients. Now I'd like to share my screen and walk you through how we utilize WorkCanvas to process map with Shannon's team and ultimately implement Monday for the team. So here we see that end-to-end process, and I'll walk through how we used WorkCanvas to meet our needs. Primarily, we leveraged the shapes and the chat bubbles to facilitate the sessions we had with process mapping. So we met with Shannon's team to understand really like the ins and outs of their process and captured it here. So we have these boxes up top that are indicating which part of the phase we're referencing so that when we get to the process diagram down below.
Donalyn, I think you have to share your screen. Are you sharing?
It says it's sharing.
Yeah, I can see.
I see
Okay,
it.
sorry, we have multi. Yep, go ahead,
Okay.
sorry.
So when we look at the process diagram down below, we can see where we're talking about. So we have leads, contacts, clients, onboarding, and account management. And down below, these are the core shapes that we're using for the process diagram. So the start of the process is in this green box. Any process, so like task that we have would be here in this yellow box. And a decision is designated by a diamond. So this might be a part of the process where there might be a fork in the road and you have a different pathway. If there's a delay in the process, so maybe we need to add automated follow-ups, for example, this would be indicated with the shape. And finally, the end of a process would be indicated by the end shape in red. Down here, we can see additional context. So it was important for us to use this diagram, not just for the process mapping sessions initially, but to refer to it as a one-stop shop for resources throughout implementation. So here we are linking to relevant resources. And here we have additional context as to the boards themselves. So what should the item name be? Which groups or tabs are corresponding to which part of the board, etc. And here we have a sticky note also giving us more details on groupings in a board. And finally, useful links and forms. There's a lot of different data via like Google Sheets or a different form that we were migrating all into Monday. So this made it easy for us to contain it. Now, moving into the process diagram, we can see here that this is the start of the process. And there's two pathways to when a lead connects with SparkSolutions. And one is automated with Calendly, so someone can automatically schedule a booking. And the other is more of a manual step with an email introduction. And we wanted to combine both of those into a Monday board to kickstart the process. So here you can see we're using the make.com icon because we're utilizing that integration to facilitate Calendly connection to Monday. And both of them come into Monday here. You can also see that we utilize make.com at different stages in the process, which are indicated using the icon here. So here you can see we're also using these green bars. This is for us as kind of a placeholder once we entered implementations. So we take an iterative approach to our implementations. We don't just, build one set of boards, present it to our clients and assume it's all, perfect. We understand that things might look a little bit different from before and after things are in Monday. So we build using a phased approach. So here you could see we would have built out this initial leads intake process and marked our progress with that bar so that we can take that to Shannon and her team and understand if we were still on track or getting feedback along the way rather than only at the end. So throughout the process diagram, you could see we have our process being indicated, and at the ends of the process, we also marked them as completed here. And as you can see, we're still using the chat bubbles throughout the process. So here we're adding in relevant comments where needed. When we were done with the process map, we went into the Monday account and we were able to incorporate the process map into the platform by having a dashboard and using the embed everything widget. Now the team was able to reference the process diagram while we were building the boards and also afterwards for referencing in the future. So we're lucky enough to have Shannon AD with us, the founder and CEO of SparkSolutions today. And she's going to share a little bit more about her experience and her team's experience using WorkCanvas for process mapping and in general, the positive impact that it had on the team's overall workflow. So with that, Victoria and Shannon, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Donalyn, for that walkthrough of SparkSolutions process mapping. And thank you, Shannon, for joining us today to share your experience with Workflow Magic and WorkCanvas. It's a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank
you. Yeah. Can you share your overall experience with Workflow Magic and what made you choose to work with our team?
Well, overall, the experience was just wonderful. Very easy and fluid process. But the reason I chose Workflow Magic is I had used other project management tools in the past, and it really was just a checklist of our loosely written SOPs. And I wanted something that was more robust with automations, and I was looking for a partner that could take their experience and expertise and bring ideas on how we could make that workflow process more efficient and more robust than our simple checklists. So I had interviewed several companies. We vetted several tools outside of Monday.com. And once we landed on Monday.com and I spoke with Workflow Magic, they were actually the only company that said we will bring our ideas. We have a solutions architect. We can take your goals and challenges and match it with ideas layered on top of the process you already have in place. So all of the other companies I interviewed were just going to take my checklist and do what I had already done in the past. So, and I'll say Workflow Magic did deliver on that promise.
Great. And how well did our services match your expectations?
I would say they exceeded my expectations. So what I was not expecting was to be able to go through that whole WorkCanvas process map that Donalyn just shared live with our team and collaborate on the spot. I thought it would be more of a, here are our processes, you build it out, I look at it and check it, tell you what's wrong, and then it's this back and forth process. But this WorkCanvas tool made that process mapping fun, and I think that we ended up getting a far superior product because of it.
And so tell me, Shannon, had you done process mapping before?
A little bit internally. I had only done a very simple process map for our hiring process, which is kind of extensive. There's 3 interviews, a skills assessment. So I wanted to flesh that out, but nothing this extensive, no.
Mhm. Yeah. And how effective would you say WorkCanvas was as a tool for process mapping your sales and client journey?
It was nice, especially because we got to do it live in the meetings with the Workflow Magic team. It was kind of like a whiteboard experience. If we were all in the same room with each other, pulling out a whiteboard and being able to erase and move and shift as the discussion was fluid and changing, that was nice. And then Eddie, who was our solutions architect, he was really versed in WorkCanvas, and so he was at the helm with all of the tools. And as I was talking, he was already pulling out what he needed to draw it live in the moment while I was saying what I was saying. So it was nice to see it come out visually while I was speaking it.
Yeah. And did the process map reveal any redundant processes or areas for improvement? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, for sure. Because our SOPs were really high level, the Workflow Magic team challenged me to think more granularly. And so we did find a fair amount of gaps and things that just were not efficient. I asked the team to, if this seems weird and clunky to you, you have permission to tell me it is weird and clunky. That's why I hired the team. I want your expertise. And so it was a really good collaborative conversation where we could expose those areas with kindness.
Yeah. So how would you rate the efficiency and timeliness of the implementation process?
I will say that you got to do your homework. The Workflow Magic team cannot continue to move forward if you're not an active participant. So what I loved about the project moving along was we had, especially in the beginning, we had weekly meetings where they would, build out this. You saw the green lines that Donalyn gave where this phase of the process map ended. And we would talk about that one week, and then we would talk about, well, what do we want to see in the next phase? And then they would come with a draft, and then we would talk about that. So moving along the process weekly was nice because it kept me accountable to work on the business and not as much in the business. But there was some homework in between. The team was really great at sending action item to-do list right after the meeting so that I had in my inbox what my homework was. And it wasn't a ton, but it was necessary in order to get to the next step.
Yeah, it's definitely a collaborative process. And so lastly, what positive changes have you noticed after implementing Monday.com with Workflow Magic?
So there are 2 things that I love the most about Monday.com and what they created for us. The first is, name of our company is SparkSolutions. We used to keep internal notes for each of our clients called Spark Notes, but we did it in a very cumbersome way on a Google Sheet, and each tab at the bottom was a different client. And it was just hard to find as we grew where our client was. So I asked the team to come up with a solution that we could integrate Spark Notes into Monday.com. And Eddie recommended using the add activity feature, which was great because no matter which board we're on, we can access that. And it becomes sort of a journal of meeting notes and changes and trends that we're seeing in the account, which is great for historical context. If you ever have staff changes or people go on vacation, that was great. And it's all in one spot. So I love that. The other thing that I really loved was the integration, the automated emails into the sales process. I am not a high pressure salesperson, so I think I left a lot of business on the table just by not following up and moving on with the day-to-day. And this allowed me to not have to carve out the time, but still get the follow-up emails in place. They are written in my voice, so they're still not salesy, but we've actually seen in just the short period that we've been live, we've actually seen people re-engage.
Thanks. Well, Shannon, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your experience today with us. It's great having you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. And now it's time for our Q&A session. We will go through some frequently asked questions and also a few of the questions that you may have asked when you signed up for the webinar. And to guide us through this part, I will hand it over to Natasha.
Hi. Thanks, Victoria. So let me look at some questions. So this is a great question. What is the pricing of the product? So with the basic subscription, you get 3 infinite canvases, unlimited members, basic templates, real-time collaboration, up to 10 collaborators per canvas, 3 file uploads per canvas, and presentation mode. That is free forever. So if that sounds good to you, then you're in luck, it's free. Then there's also the Pro, which, is unlimited infinite canvases, 30 plus collaborators per canvas, 100 plus professional templates, unlimited project folders, export capabilities, unlimited file uploads, and video calls. And that is $10.90 a seat per month. It's their most popular plan, and it sounds like it's really good for just about anyone. And then, of course, there's the enterprise plan, which is tailored onboarding, SSO, multi-level permissions, multi-factor authentication, custom data region, and enterprise-grade support. And if you're interested in that, just reach out to us, and we'll be happy to set you up with that and answer any questions you may have about enterprise. Another good question is, how do we add the product to our account? And Victoria will help me show that one. You just click those 9 little dots up there in the left-hand corner, and you can click explore more products. And then, of course, we already have WorkCanvas on ours, but it should be on there. And then you can just add it directly into your homepage. But if you don't see it or have any issues with that, please feel free to reach out to us. And we can help you get set up with that. What is the best way to move forward from one whiteboard tool to WorkCanvas? So as we saw earlier, if you're currently using Miro, you'll be able to quickly and easily migrate to WorkCanvas. All you need to do is, copy and paste from Miro into WorkCanvas. If you are using any other whiteboard tool, you can reach out to us. There are a lot of ways that you can migrate over, and we can definitely help you get set up with that. And is there a limit on the amount of templates you can put on a canvas? No, there's no limit. You can use as many templates as you want. So, you can go crazy with the templates. And they're all very useful. So, it's pretty fun once you get on there and play around with them. I think that's it for the questions that we have today. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we can get those answered for you. So thank you guys for your questions, and I'll pass it back to Victoria.
Okay, thank you so much, Natasha, and thank you, team, and Shannon, and thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We hope you found this webinar informative and that you are as excited about WorkCanvas as we are. If you are interested in trying out WorkCanvas, please reach out to us, and we'll help you get it set up on your account. And as a special thank you, all participants will have a free 1-hour consultation with a Workflow Magic implementation consultant to discuss Monday.com optimization or strategy. If you are interested, please scan the QR code that you see on the screen now. I'll leave it up there for a couple minutes. And that is it for today. Have a great day, and we look forward to working with you on future projects. I'll see you next time.